YB stays on your neck.
It's on my neck.
Yo, my dons, make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and obviously hit the bell for notifications. So we just saw there Andy Margin Boo Ruiz. Well, actually, just quickly, before I go into this analysis, I want to say that I've got another video. Why? Got another video coming soon. B. Yeah, so talking about Andy Ruiz's weight. And listen, there's been a new leaked photo, and he actually does look like he's lost hella weight. He looks like he's lost hella weight. Now I saw Hatman said that Ruiz's trainer said Ruiz lost £30. Now he doesn't look like he's lost £30, but if you told me he lost £20, you wouldn't be lying. That said, like Hatman also said, that we don't know how heavy he started. He might have started at 300 and he might only be down to 270 now, but I'm pretty sure he looks leaner than he did against AJ. He looked plump versus AJ. Now, the reason I give you that background is just to say that for those of you who follow the channel, you know that what my views are. My views have been in terms of what's the best thing for boxing, i.e. the best fight we'll get, the most explosive fight will be, in my opinion, if Ruiz comes in lighter. I've always said that I feel he can almost emulate Mike Tyson. I think the reason Ruiz's feet aren't as quick as Mike Tyson's, and the reason he's not as explosive and as powerful as Mike Tyson, is because he's carrying loads of dead weight. When you've got that much, when you've got 50 pounds of fat on you, when you want to create that torque at the hips, so when you want to like make more power, you can't generate it because all that fat's slowing you down. Whilst your central nervous system may be generating X force, a lot of that force is, rather than transferring it to the end of your fist, it's a lot of that force and power and energy is being used simply to move that weight. Does that make sense? You're using energy and power just to move the weight rather than putting it on the end of your hand. And that's the bottom line here. The more fat Ruiz loses, the more power he'll find ends up on the end of his hand. Now this could be a very dangerous situation for AJ. If he does come in a lot lighter, this might be the first time we see Ruiz with any power, because he's finally not wasting energy just moving fat along. He's actually putting it on the end of his hands, but who knows? All I know is, now I've given you that background, putting two and two together in as much as, let's assume Ruiz has lost 10, 15, 20 pounds. This video here, he looks even more snappy than he did before. Even more snappy. Yeah, he's got, when he's throwing his, this is something that a lot of fighters don't do, and I've praised Ruiz on this before. Now, in particular, AJ does this well as well, but I think Ruiz does it even better. And actually, this is something that Fury doesn't do at all. When Fury and Wilder do it similarly. When Fury and Wilder throw a hook, you'll see their elbows are caved in. They throw their hook with their elbow literally pointing towards the ground, and that's why they don't have. Wilder has brute force, but you know what? Scrap that. Fury, let's concentrate on Fury. When Fury throws his hooks, his elbow's caved in. He doesn't. You almost, when you want the perfect way to throw a hook, you almost want your elbow to be horizontal. Does that make sense? As you throw a hook, you almost want your elbow to be. You want to have your elbow at the same height as your hand. A lot of fighters, they throw their hooks with their hand about a foot higher than their elbow. Does that make sense? And that's what you call a slap. When you slap a hook in, or when you're slapping like Fury does, you'll see his elbows caved in and his hands about a foot higher than his elbow, and he's slapping. Yeah, the best fighters like Mike Tyson, you'll see he really digs his elbow in. You'll see his elbow's almost throwing the shot. And that's something you see Ruiz do here. I've paused the photo, I've snapshotted the part I'm talking about, and you see his elbow is really high, and that's how you get your body behind the shot as well. That's half of what you call leverage. You can also generate leverage from moving, or from essentially moving at the hips. Something else Fury doesn't do. Fury, when you see him throw a hook, it's all arm punches. You'll never see him kind of put his feet down and really rotate his hips in. You'll see him just slapping. But anyway, like people said, what do I know? I'm a casual. What could I possibly teach Fury, aka Mr. No Power? The bottom line is, when you analyse technique, you see what Ruiz does well and what Fury don't do well. Now, let's forget about Fury for now. The bottom line is, this could end up being a great test, not for only for AJ, but for boxing. This could, of course, it's going to be a great test for AJ anyway, most likely. But what I'm trying to say, this could be a great showing for us because we're going to get the best of AJ. AJ knows this is it now. Yeah, whether or not $100 million turkey or not, this is it. So that, in that respect, it's going to be a great show. But also, if Ruiz has lost weight, in my opinion, we're going to get a Ruiz which we've potentially never seen before. A Ruiz who actually has got more speed and more power than he's ever had. So, as I said before, for me, the winner of this fight is going to be the Alpha Omega, the proper Don of boxing. Whoever comes out on top of this fight is going to be the man who dominates boxing, in my opinion. They'll knock Wilder out, or they'll beat Wilder, or knock him out, and they'll knock Fury out as well. That's my opinion. This is actually the true fight for unification, because I'm telling you now, the winner of this fight will get on the inside of Wilder and open him up like a can of beans. He can't fight on the inside. If you stand at arm's length of Wilder, you probably get knocked out. If you get on top of him, no one's ever done that. And actually, a great point on that is, watch the Wilder versus Bermain Stavern fight. Now, Bermain Stavern, he's got really slow feet. He plods, got no inside game. But even he had a high guard the first fight. What did he do? He walked Wilder down and got on top of him. But unfortunately, he doesn't have any inside fighting ability. But my point is, he was able, by just closing the gap and getting on top of Wilder, he was able to survive 12 rounds and make it a dirty fight. Now, imagine someone like Chisora, who not only is 10 times more inside game and 10 times more ferocious than Bermain Stavern, but also has the head movement. Bermain Stavern's stiff as a board, straight up and down, but he was able to survive 12 rounds just by getting on top of Wilder. Now imagine Chisora, who has head movement, who has inside hooks and uppercuts, short hooks and uppercuts, who has quick feet as well. Look how quick Chisora was stepping on Pricey. Rapid feet. Imagine that. I'm so convinced. I'd love to see that fight. Even if I'm proven wrong, I've got to see it. Chisora versus Wilder. I can see him getting knocked out. I really can. But anyway, that's for another day. The same with Ruiz or AJ. If AJ beats Ruiz, in my opinion, it will be because he's stood his ground and he's learned how to punish Ruiz and make Ruiz quit. I don't think he's going to win going back. I'll be honest with you now. I just don't think he's going to win. Simple as that. If AJ goes backwards, I don't see him winning this fight. Let it be known now. If he's going backwards and he's doing like he did the first fight, piddling around and thinking he's going to do this, I see him running out of gas after 6 or 7 rounds, and that's the end of the show. The minute he runs out of gas, it's going to fall apart from there. Ruiz is going to jump all over him, because once that turns Ruiz on. But anyway, that's for another day. The bottom line is, let's concentrate on this analysis here. What this tells me from AJ's point of view is, as we already know, this isn't like new information, but it just tells me that this AJ cat, he best have some tight D, in as much as he best have his D needs to be tight, because Ruiz here, he's banging to the body, as we already know, he's banging to the body, and he's up and down, both levels, short, straight shot. What you see here as well, he's mixing in straight shots and the shorter shots as well, the reason that's relevant is, that creates, when people throw, as an example, there's a key difference between, there's 3 shots you can throw: straights, hooks and uppercuts. Now, a lot of fighters, and even to an extent, this is one of Chisora's flaws, a lot of fighters like Chisora, not like Chisora, but this is one of Chisora's things I think he could work on. Chisora doesn't mix shots that well on the inside, meaning that once he's on the inside, you'll see him throw a lot of hooks. Now, sometimes what can happen is, when a fighter keeps throwing the same shot again and again and again, they're easy to defend. It's easy to defend the same shot again and again. Does that make sense? As an example, if someone gets on the inside and they're throwing left hook, right hook, left hook, right hook, left hook, right hook, you can get into it, from a defense point of view, you can get into a rhythm of defending. Left hook, right. Does that make sense? You can catch. But when someone starts throwing this, when you start mixing it up, that's how you can catch people off, because there's no rhythm to it. If someone throws left hook, right hand, left hook, right uppercut. See what I mean? You're going to catch them on different levels, because how you defend a straight shot isn't how you defend a hook. How you defend a straight shot isn't how you defend an uppercut. Do you get what I mean? My point is, You see Ruiz here, right hand, left hook, and it's mixing it up. And that's what's gonna. We know. I'm not being funny. I support AJ, but we know Rob McCracken defense. AJ's Rob McCracken defense isn't the tightest at the best of times. Never mind when shots are being mixed up. So this here is, and once again, it's just not what's the word? It's nothing. Ruiz isn't showing nothing new here. But that said, he's showing that AJ's defense is going to need to be on point here. It's going to need to be on point. Yeah? Even though Ruiz is pillow-fisted. We don't know if he's going to be pillow-fisted. If he comes in 240 and he's lost 30 pounds of dead weight, and I'm not sure he's going to be as pillow-fisted as he was before. But who knows? I hope I'm wrong. In fact, no, I don't hope I'm wrong. I hope we get an AJ which has been improved. As Rob McCracken, having been with AJ for the last 10 years, we should start seeing some of these improvements. When are we going to start seeing them? Seriously, when are we? Because for me, learning to drop his, well, he hasn't even learned to do that, but dropping the lead hand isn't showing improvement, in my opinion. I don't know what that's about at all. Of all the improvements McCracken could have endowed or could have given AJ, dropping his lead hand, it wasn't a good one. It was the worst idea I've ever heard in my life. Oh, might be AJ needs to. People in or wannabe boxing people, they kind of like. They've got a fascination with dropping your hands. They say like, oh, AJ needs to be less stiff and drop it. What's dropping your lead hand and getting hit with loads of shots? How does that make you looser? How does that make, oh yeah, he's a bit stiff. Dropping your lead hand doesn't naturally make you looser. Do you understand that? It doesn't, it's not, people have a fast, oh, well, people equate dropping your hands to having a higher IQ. No, if you drop your hands and you've got a low, and your IQ hasn't changed, you'll get clocked in the head, as we saw. Yeah, that's the bottom line. There's nothing fruity about it. Dropping hands, in my opinion, is a high level skill which many fighters can never. Look at Broner, for example. He tries all that fruity stuff. What happens to him? He gets clocked in his head, or he becomes shell shocked, where he can't throw any shots anymore. Anyway, listen, as I said, AJ's defense is going to need to be, if it needed to be on tight against a really chubby and slow Ruiz. And I'm talking relatively slow, he's going to need to be on tight.com from what I'm seeing. But who knows? Let's see what McCracken's cooked up after 10 years. And like I say, I'm a casual. I admit that myself. I am a boxing casual. I only watch big fights, so I'm happy to not know anything. That said, let's see what McCracken, who has, like people like to remind me, he's got 30 years in the game. He's been with AJ for 10 years. So let's see what he does then, because he's been in the game for 30 years. He's boxed himself. He's been with AJ for 10 years. So surely after all that, he should be able to show us something, shouldn't he? He should be able to show us at least the basics, should he not? Anyway, let me know your thoughts.